I am Marcus Mosher of the Game Day, and the NFL Draft is finally over. Today, we are looking at the 5 best draft classes, 5 through 1, to see who absolutely nailed this draft. Let's dive in. At number 5 is the New York Jets. Obviously, at number 2, they went with Zach Wilson. It was a pretty easy pick, but I like what they did in the rest of the draft. They traded up for guard Elijah Vera Tucker, who I think might have been one of the top 10 players in this class. You pair him with Mekhi Becton on that left side, and now they're starting to build an offensive line that can keep Wilson upright. And then at pick 34, maybe my favorite pick in the entire draft, grabbing Elijah Moore, a absolutely dynamic slot receiver who has a little bit of Antonio Brown, maybe some Tyler Lockett to his game. I think he's better than some of the receivers that were drafted ahead of him. I think he's going to be an absolute superstar in New York. And then we talk about Michael Carter, the running back from North Carolina. Just an incredible draft from Joe Douglas. And now this is a Jets team that is on the right track to contending sooner rather than later. At number 4 is the Carolina Panthers. And at pick number 8, they made a little bit of a surprising selection, taking cornerback J.C. Horn as the first defender off the board. It's a little rich for Horn, but the attitude and the way he competes is exactly what the Panthers needed. I thought they crushed day 2 of the draft, grabbing Terrace Marshall, a wide receiver from LSU who can play inside as a big slot receiver. Brady Christensen, an offensive tackle from BYU, might be able to start in 2022. And then maybe my favorite pick in the draft, Tommy Tremble, a tight end from Notre Dame. He's going to fit in perfectly in that Joe Brady offense. Just playmakers all over the place. Just a solid draft from the Carolina Panthers. At number 3 is the Miami Dolphins. We know they had 2 first-round picks at 6 and 18, and I thought they crushed it. Jalen Waddle at pick number 6 gives them even more speed on this offense. Will Fuller and Jalen Waddle, probably the fastest wide receiver combination in the NFL today. And then they went and got Jalen Phillips, who I thought was the best defender in the draft. He has some medical concerns, some history of concussions, but this is a special edge rusher. And then at pick 36, Javon Holland, one of the better safeties in this class, did opt out of the 2020 season, but this is a highly thought of player from Oregon that can play as that deep safety in an already good secondary. And then 2 more picks that I need to mention. Liam Eichenberg, a 3-year starter at Notre Dame. Probably not a left tackle in the NFL, but can play on the right side. I think he'll start as a rookie. And then tight end Hunter Long, a perfect pairing with Mike Gesicki. He can play inline, he can play off the ball, he can play in the backfield. I really like Hunter Long at the end of the 3rd round. Just an A+ draft from the Miami Dolphins. At number 2 is the Los Angeles Chargers. Draft couldn't have went any better for the Chargers. They stayed at pick 13, and Rashawn Slater, the offensive tackle from Northwestern, fell right into their laps. He's going to protect Justin Herbert. He is a fantastic athlete. And all of a sudden, this Chargers offensive line that was a major weak spot last year is starting to become one of the better units in the NFL. In round 2, they grabbed Asante Samuel Jr., and he is a perfect fit in that Chargers defense. They've got a bunch of playmakers all over. You add them with the likes of Nasir Adderley and Derwin James. It's a really good secondary. Josh Palmer, really solid receiver, very physical. Trey McKitty, a tight end in round 3. Just a great draft overall from the Chargers. At number 1 is the Cleveland Browns. I don't know what to say more about this draft. I absolutely love it. Greg Newsome is a super talented cornerback that could not be a better pairing with Denzel Ward. You also put Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, a linebacker safety hybrid player that can play in space. He can play in the slot. This Browns defense needed speed, and Newsome and JOK can certainly accomplish that. And then on offense, they went and grabbed Anthony Schwartz, the fastest player in the draft. They didn't need another starting level receiver, as they already had Odell Beckham and Jarvis Landry. But what Schwartz can do is a lot of this stuff behind the backfield. He can do stuff down the field in a Will Fuller-like role. Having him as the number 4 or number 5 receiver in that offense is going to be absolutely scary. And then on day 3, they crushed it with James Hudson, an offensive tackle from Cincinnati, who could be a swing tackle right away. Tommy Togiai is a defensive tackle from Ohio State that should be able to get snaps right away as a nose tackle and as a one technique. And then Tony Fields, another linebacker that can play in space. Cleveland absolutely crushed it. Despite not having a pick inside the top 25, Cleveland, great job, and they are so close to being maybe the second or third best team in the AFC. Who do you think had the best draft this year? Make sure you leave your answers and comments below. And as always, thank you for watching the Game Day.